All right, folks. Yes, indeed. Trump lies matter. Yesterday, Donald Trump came out to the Rose Garden with Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell to talk about their plans to pass tax reform and health care. But then Trump decided to answer questions from White House reporters, and the lies just kept spewing out of his mouth.
The Republican Party is very, very unified. When we get things approved, we have to go through hell because we have no Democrat support. We have nobody. We don't have a vote from the Democrats. And that's because they're obstructionists and they just basically want us to do badly, but that's not going to happen.
So let's see, in 9 months, the Republicans who control the House, who control the Senate, who control the White House have passed no bills whatsoever. So Trump is saying that Democrats, they can't get any votes and they're obstructing. No, his own party, they're the ones who've actually failed to pass any bills. Remember, they did not pass health care for a third time when it came to the floor last month because 5 GOP senators were opposed to it. They only needed 2 votes to pass it. Here's another lie from Donald Trump.
The insurance companies have made a fortune with Obamacare, an absolute fortune. As you know, what I did with the cuts at the end, which were all going, you're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars a month going right into the pockets of the insurance companies. And I'm very happy with what I did.
Now, folks, Donald Trump is talking about his move to cut $7 billion in annual health care subsidies to low-income Americans because he claims it's making insurance companies rich. But here's what Republican Senator Susan Collins had to say about that.
This is not a bailout of the insurers. What this money is used for is to help low-income people afford their deductibles and their copays so that their health care is available to them.
Now, Trump was asked why he hadn't commented about the deaths of 4 Green Berets who were killed in Niger 2 weeks ago, including a young African-American man, 25-year-old Sergeant David Johnson.
If you look at President Obama and other presidents, most of them didn't make calls.
How can you make that claim?
I don't know if he did. No. I was told that he didn't often, and a lot of presidents don't. They write letters.
Well, that's a huge lie. President Obama's former Deputy Chief of Staff for Operations, Elisa Mastromonaco, angrily tweeted, "That's a effing lie to say President Obama or past presidents didn't call the family members of soldiers KIA, which was killed in action. He's a deranged animal." And President Obama's White House photographer, Pete Souza, posted this picture on Instagram of the president and First Lady consoling the parents of an Army sergeant who was posthumously awarded the Medal of Honor for his actions in Afghanistan.
The whole Russian thing was an excuse for the Democrats losing the election, and it turns out to be just one excuse. There has been absolutely no collusion. It's been stated that they have no collusion. They ought to get to the end of it because I think the American public is sick of it.
Nah, you're the one who's sick of that, Donald Trump. That's the 6th time Trump has publicly denied colluding with Russia during the presidential campaign. But there are 2 ongoing congressional investigations, as well as one by Special Counsel Robert Mueller. None of them have reached a conclusion one way or the other.
He gave us an A+. I just see it just came out, and I've always had respect for him. He's the FEMA director of the Clinton administration, gave us an A+ for how we responded to the hurricane aftermath, all of the hurricanes, and that includes Puerto Rico.
And another lie by Donald Trump. He was speaking about James Lee Witt, who clarified that he did not give the administration an A+ for their handling of Hurricane Maria and aid to Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands, just Harvey and Irma. Let's go to our panel there in Washington, D.C. We have Avis Jones-Dweaver, leadership strategist and author of the book How Exceptional Black Women Lead. George Farrell, founder of Black PAC and author of Success is Colorblind. Black PAC, of course, conservative political action committee. Wendy Osefo, political analyst and professor of education at Johns Hopkins University. All right, George, I'm going to start with you. Why does your guy, your Republican president, George, keep lying to the American public. He lied in the news conference yesterday.
Well, Roland, I think he got off point. We know he got off point. But let me say this. I think what the president needs to do is really not talk about President Obama and concentrate on his own agenda and stay on point. We all know that he needs to stay on point. There's no use going to talk about the past president. He did a great job. I admire him. But the president needs to just stay on point. Yes, Roland, yes.
He can't even tell the truth. He can't even tell the truth about what he's done. So forget bringing up President Barack Obama. He lied about his own administration.
He's not lying. There's a division in the party, Roland. John McCain is not doing the job. Speaker Ryan's not doing the job. They're not getting the agenda passed. That part is true.
George, you said there's division in the party. He's not lying. This is a lie. If you say the Democrats obstructed, no, it was Republicans who didn't vote for the health care.
I agree with you,
That
Roland.
was a lie.
I agree with you,
He said
Roland.
he was given an A+. That was a lie. He also talked about the health care subsidies. That was a lie. George, these are undeniable lies by Donald Trump, and there's nothing that could come out of this man's mouth that can be trusted, Avis.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, let's just be very frank about it. This is a pathological liar. He has no mastery of the subject area, so all he can do is deflect and lie about everything. And to me, what was the most just disturbing lie, just disgusting lie, was the lie that he completely made up about President Obama never calling the families of fallen soldiers, and that's something that other presidents don't do. No, that's something that you didn't do, Donald, because you're lazy, because you have no empathy, because you don't know what is actually in the notes in terms of what you are supposed to do as President of the United States. And that's why you will never have the respect that a President Obama has, because you don't deserve it.
And Wendy, of course, yesterday, he says, oh, the letters are going to go out today and tomorrow. No, they're not. He hadn't even written the letters. These soldiers died nearly 2 weeks ago. You're trying to tell me that all of a sudden you've written letters and they're going to go out yesterday, which he says today or tomorrow, meaning yesterday or today. He never had the letters, and you know that was a lie, Wendy.
Absolutely, it was a lie. Furthermore, what we have here is a man who completely acts off of power and privilege. Everything that he's ever gotten his entire life has been because of privilege. He has always been in a position where no one has ever checked him. He has been able to lie through his businesses, through his university, through his real estate dealings. And now we have him in a position where every day he's held accountable, not only by the American people, but also by the media. And he continues to systematically lie. He should never have taken office at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. And every day he opens his mouth to talk about any past president just shows us why he should have never even been president. He is a liar, and he is a pathological liar. And that is just the
Folks,
fact.
tomorrow, in the next hour, we're going to hear from when April Ryan questioned him about the NFL protests and the issue of police brutality, and watch how Donald Trump completely ignored the conversation. We'll cover that again in our next hour.
Weekdays on TV One.
I will never lie to you.
Oh, my God.
Roland Martin.
He doesn't want to talk to us. He wants to ignore us.
Uncensored.
Hell no. That ain't going to cut it, boo.
Unapologetic.
No, that is fundamentally false. You are wrong.
Unfiltered.
He wants an America where we all look alike. He ain't talking about black people.
Unrelenting.
You better go work out, because you got a fight on your hands.
News One Now with Roland Martin. Weekdays at 7 a.m. on TV One.